Chin tuck boxing, baby.
What time is it?
Showtime.
What time is it?
Showtime.
What time is it?
Showtime.
In this video, we listen to Shawn break down both his fights with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Hey, Shawn, let's start with Errol Spence. What you thought about him going into this fight?
I think that experience is going to play a major role in this fight. I don't think you've been in the ring with anyone that has made you adapt, has made you make adjustments, has made you get out of your comfort zone.
Leading into this fight, Errol Spence's major competition was Carol Brook and Danny Garcia. Shawn Porter must have felt that in those fights, they wasn't able to force Errol to make any major adjustments, causing him to be uncomfortable in the ring. Let's see if Shawn Porter had what it takes to make Errol Spence uncomfortable. Roll the tape. The entire boxing world knows what Errol Spence's best attributes are. That is his overwhelming pressure and his piston-like consistent jab. Shawn Porter knew that for him to have success in this fight, he had to take one or both of those things away. Let's start with the pressure. Shawn Porter came with the plan that he would set traps and knew that Errol Spence's pressure would lead him to take the bait. Shawn would allow his back to hit the ropes, or allow himself to be trapped into the corner. Once there, he knew that Errol Spence's relentless pressure wouldn't allow him to be set into a trap. Once he put his back on the ropes or in the corner, he would then spin off, causing Errol to come in and fall into the ropes himself, or into the corner. Once there, Shawn would throw punches and bunches, seeing how Errol would respond to himself being trapped in the ropes or in the corner, with the offensive opponent in front of him. Shawn had some success with this move, as you can see in the clip, as he did it repeatedly in the fight, and it worked repeatedly in the fight. But he also took some hellacious body shots, possibly tiring him out later in the fight. What do you guys think in the comment section? Do you think this worked out in Shawn's benefit? Or do you think he just gave Errol the fight that he was looking for? Next is Spence's jab. For Shawn Porter to have success and to win this fight, he will need to slow, stop, or at least cause problems for Errol when he throws his jab. He had a little bit of success in doing this as well. He either countered with his own jab, threw punches in between jabs, or he just simply smothered Errol Spence's offense. He figured that if he be who he is, if he remained Shawn Porter, by putting on pressure, keeping Errol on the back foot, he won't be able to plant his feet or even want to lower jab. Now this kind of worked against him in certain ways, and it kind of worked for him in certain ways. While he did slow Errol's come forward mentality, and he did slow Errol from being the locomotive that he normally is in most of his fights, he kind of underestimated Errol's ability to counterpunch. Errol would catch him in between punches with the harder shots, as he's seen in the 11th round. But I digress. Shawn Porter also has a unique ability to throw punches at different angles, sometimes weird angles. He's very underestimated with his feet as well. Shawn Porter has the ability to switch southpaw. I say it again, Shawn Porter has the ability to switch southpaw. It just happens so smooth in a style full of chaos that it get unnoticed by most fans. Now that we hear what I had to say about it, hey yo Shawn, what you think about your fight with Errol Spence?
I definitely have to take a look back. I felt comfortable a majority of the rounds. Really, the one round I didn't feel comfortable in, obviously, was the round my hand touched the canvas. But other than that, I felt very comfortable through this fight. Just a simple move, a pullback counter, and I counterpunched his jab with my jab. And he shook his head and he said something. And I thought to myself, oh, I got you. And what I realized in that moment was he's not as smart, not as intellectually sound as I thought he was going to be. And that seemed to kind of carry through the entire fight. I felt like I was a step ahead of Errol the entire fight, all the way up until that knockdown moment.
So Shawn Porter wasn't really impressed with the cerebral side of Errol Spence Jr. It was a very physical fight.
The physical style of both fighters gave us an all-time classic fight. Very close on the scorecards. But let's see how the physical style of Shawn Porter matches up with the more cerebral style of the current pound-for-pound king, Terrence Bud Crawford.
I didn't wear a shirt today because initially I wanted to show you that I've been working.
Coming into the fight, Shawn Porter seemed to be extremely confident in his conditioning and seemed to be in incredible shape when he stepped onto the scales. Let's see what he thought about his opponent. Hey, yo, Shawn, what you think about Terrence Crawford, and what do you expect from you?
Terrence Crawford has not been in the ring with anyone who has really pushed his limits. I intend to do just that.
Everyone in the boxing world just knew that the work rate of Shawn Porter was going to give Terrence Crawford fits. Because everybody knew that Terrence Crawford is a slow starter. Everybody knew that Terrence Crawford liked to sit back and counterpunch. And everybody knew that Shawn Porter was the bigger man coming into the fight. So of course, without a doubt, Shawn Porter's game plan was to be physical, was to come out early and set the tone. Let's take a look at how the fast start of Shawn Porter gave Terrence Crawford a lot of trouble early in the fight. As you can see here, Shawn Porter threw caution to the wind early, looking to be the aggressor, looking to keep Terrence Crawford uncomfortable and on the back foot, trying to set the tempo, try to, beat Shawn Porter. He even tried switching to southpaw the way he caught Errol Spence in the corner. It didn't work that well here against Terrence Crawford. The speed, the elusiveness, the left hand leads and right hand counters all gave Shawn Porter's fits early, but what really slowed the pace was the feints. That's what got Shawn Porter fighting at Terrence Crawford's speed. So in this round, instead of leading in recklessly and getting caught with counters, he looked to trap Terrence Crawford in the corner the way he trapped Errol Spence against the ropes many times. It didn't work that well here, as you can see. Well, the next thing for Shawn Porter to prove is that he's the bigger, stronger man. Since he's coming down to 147 and Terrence Crawford moving up to 147. But it seems like the more physical fighter, at least early on in this fight, seems to be Terrence Crawford. Well, it seems like the slow starting Terrence Crawford seeming to be taking away Shawn Porter's best moves and best plans. Let's see what happens in the second quarter of the fight. Shawn Porter will continue to have a rough time initiating offense, as every time he come in with a lunging, looping shot, he always got countered. It seems like the patience of Terrence Crawford, and yet the physicality on the inside, will continue to have Shawn Porter off balance. Whether he's coming in off balance throwing his own shots, or whether he's getting pushed off balance by Terrence Crawford. So far, the same maneuvers that gave him so much success against the physicality of Errol Spence seems to be coming up a little short against the cerebral mind of Terrence Crawford. Even on a physical level, it seems that Terrence Crawford is just a step above. Could it be because he didn't train properly? Or could it be that just Terrence Crawford was well prepared for his style and what Shawn Porter had to bring? Take this time to let me know in the comment section which one you think it was. Eventually, in my opinion, it seems that Terrence Crawford seemed to catch his rhythm, and Shawn Porter just kind of set right into it. While he does seem to still be trying to land solid shots, it seems to be harder to hit Terrence Crawford clean. But at the same time, it seems Shawn Porter is getting hit clean with shots more often than we used to seeing him getting hit with. After a while, you can kind of see Terrence Crawford kind of moving and showing where he wanted to move him, and at the same time setting up the shot that he's been looking for all night, which is that left uppercut. After finding the range with that shot, it seems like he just couldn't miss with it. It seemed like whenever Shawn Porter comes forward, left uppercut comes, whether to the body or to the head. On all three judges' scorecards, I have to mention that Terrence Crawford had a lead. On my scorecard,
I myself had Terrence Crawford up by 2 rounds. And even though the stoppage left a bad taste in all of our mouths, it was still a great fight. But yo, Shawn, what you think about Terrence Crawford now?
I'm gonna ask him, hey yo, can you be broken? He's literally, he's good. I jab and then he would try to counter me with the hook and I was rolling over the hook. He caught me with a couple of good uppercuts, a couple of good moves. He tried to come with a crazy left hook from the southpaw side one time, so you could see that he was thinking too and trying things too. You know what I mean? In the fight with Errol Spence Jr. going 12 rounds, I felt like it was not as tough as fighting Terrence Crawford. Rounds that I felt like were definitely mine, and then there were some other rounds where I get hit a little bit more than usual against Terrence Crawford, so I automatically feel like that's not my round. Derek James did an interview and said that Terrence Crawford's fighting a lesser Shawn Porter after Shawn Porter fought Errol Spence Jr. I didn't agree with that.
I don't believe in the triangle theory because style makes fights. But the Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight does have a few similarities.
Like that. I'm gonna have to take that.
What makes him dynamic is that he's very elusive and he's very he's able to use his arm length and the distance. He's really more athletic than he is boxing skill. So I mean, he's very athletic, very fast, very quick twitch muscles. But you can't judge the depth of his desire until you get in the ring, right? Because it's like Errol's just hitting you and breaking your ribs and breaking your orbital bone, and you keep fighting and breaking your nose. You can't see that from his record.
Like one of the reporters just said, I'm glass. Like, okay, he's gonna break me. He's gonna bulldoze me. He's gonna do this. He's gonna do that. Okay, well, he's gonna have to show me.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Errol Spence Jr. Everybody been waiting on the most anticipated fight of the year versus Terrence Crawford. It's finally happening. July 29th, T-Mobile Arena. Gonna put on a great show, a great performance. It's gonna be a one-sided ass whooping. Make sure you like and subscribe.
One of these guys will be the undisputed, undefeated welterweight champion of the world. I cannot wait to see. Thanks for watching.
Chin tucked boxing, baby.